Okay, let me show you what I think is the best possible way for me to install this corrugated tin that I got last year for free on my roof in a way where I'm not going to have issues with it long term. Now, if you remember, those of you guys that follow us, probably 9 months ago, a friend of mine called me up and said this hay barn had been knocked down with the snow load, and I ended up getting more than enough corrugated tin to finish my house for free if I was willing to go and remove it. Now, I hadn't even started building the house at that time, but I went and got it because I knew there was somewhere I could use that stuff. So last year, before weather set in, before winter really set in, I first put down the drip edge, then I laid the synthetic underlayment over the top. And that's basically how it's been since then. I nailed it off with the button top nails, the green top nails, whatever they're called. And all winter long I've been thinking to myself, if I install this corrugated tin directly on top of this synthetic underlayment, which is not designed to be in direct sunlight or exposed directly to the elements, am I asking for problems? So if the corrugated tin that I was using was brand new and didn't have any holes in it anywhere, I could probably put it directly on top of this, but we're really going for a very specific look with our house. We want it to look like an old barn or an old building that's been here a long time. And this tin is aged and it's free. If I had to buy all new tin for it, it would probably cost me a couple grand for the house. So let me show you what my options are traditionally with installing this stuff. The two big debates with corrugated tin roof is, do the screws go in the ridge or screws go in the valley? I've got my underlayment down, it's ready to go. I'm going to now install just good old-fashioned asphalt fiberglass mineral topped rolled roofing. Very easy to install. Nail gun or nails and roll it out, pull it straight, put some tar on the seams. I'm going to tar every seam. I'm going to tar any exposed nails. I'm going to use that tar like crazy, but very simple to install. So now if I put the tin on top of this, it doesn't matter if it leaks. If it leaks, I've got a roof underneath it. And then if the roof leaks, I've got underlayment underneath it. So to me, this solves the problem, but I still have this issue. Do I put the screws in the peaks or in the valleys? Now, there are companies that make these waffle boards that go underneath. They're designed to go underneath look at this one, doesn't even line up. It doesn't even line up properly with that. That's the other issue, is if the tin has been installed, it oftentimes flattens out a little bit. So this doesn't even line up. So I couldn't use this, but here's the other issue that tin has the potential to do. Tin can reflect heat, but these peaks also have the ability to allow heat to run up underneath. Any heat that's coming off the roof or between the tin and the asphalt roof, there's heat that's going to come off there. We get as warm as high 80s, even low 90s up here for a couple of weeks out of the summer. So I want this to breathe. The other issue is if water gets behind the tin and it runs into this wood, it's not going to be able to get out. You could say the same thing for dirt or sand or anything like that. So let me show you how I'm going to solve my problem. But let me say this also. If this lined up perfectly and everything was fine, I could put my screws in the peak of this wood, and it would go down through the wood and then into the OSB, and I could screw it down tight and secure that washer around the rubber, and I'm probably going to be just fine. But because of the issues, and by the way, these are about $3 to $4 a piece for a bundle of 5 of them. I don't want to do that. Plus, wood's going to break down. So here is my solution to my problems. The plumber in me kicked in. This is a piece of 3/4 inch PVC that I ripped in half with my table saw. What I'm going to do is every 16 inches, I'm going to put a 10-foot length of this exactly where my rafters are, my roof rafters. I'm going to mark that so I know where my rafters are. And this is going to go underneath the ridge, allowing me to have something of substance to screw into So when I run these 2-inch screws, these 1.5-inch screws down in, that it's not going to dimple and it's not going to compromise the seal. This is overkill. This is me spending too much time thinking about this. I more than likely will be just fine running these down into the ridge like this and just not over tightening them. It probably would be fine. So this is going down through the tin, going down through the asphalt roof and through the underlayment. So I've got 3 potential points to seal against. And then even if the roof leaks, which I'm planning on the roof leaking because it has these holes in it, I have a legitimate roof behind it. So to me, this is the best solution for what I have. This should easily outlast me. Really all that the tin is doing is it's just there for looks. It's really not posing anything other than it'll reflect heat. But it's just one more way to protect the asphalt roof and prevent that from breaking down. So this is my solution to my problem. So now what I'm going to do is get up on the roof and I'm going to get the rolled roofing portion of this done. Hopefully tomorrow I can get all of the PVC finished, ripped in half, and get it laid out so I know where to run my screws in. Now these screws are long enough where they should go down through the PVC, through the tin, and hit my rafters and have an extra place to really bite into. So we're going to see how this goes, but part 1 should be me getting all the rolled roofing down. I once met a 96-year-old man that told me the secret to a long and healthy life was hard physical labor as often as you can do it. He told me that after he served in World War II that he came home and spent many years digging ditches and doing whatever it took to put food on the table. While I can appreciate this because I've spent most of my life doing something similar, I would argue that it's important to better yourself and make yourself more valuable somewhere along the way. Hard physical work is one of the few things that I'm good at. Carrying 13 100-pound rolls up on the roof took a little bit out of me today, especially because I'm not in as good a shape as I will be soon, I promise. Winter, I tend to get a little bit sloppy, and that's going to go away real quick. I learned very quickly as a plumber that the harder I worked, the more money I made. I have an attorney friend here in town that told me his wife and kids will never go hungry because he's not above hard work. He's not above doing whatever he has to do to feed his family. Now, rolled roofing might be the easiest roofing that a person can do, but there is a technique to it. There is a process to it. The direction that you roll the rolls, the process in which you put the tar down. Now, because this is a little bit of a custom job, I'm having to think on my feet and figure things out. I want to tar every single seam, ensuring that I don't have leaks. Now, the last time I did a rolled roof was on my family home that I grew up in that nearly had a flat roof. So obviously with a flat roof, I don't have the risks of falling off like I do on this house. The other significant difference between this family home and the family home that I grew up in is if I fall off this roof, I'm falling nearly 20 feet. If I fell off the roof that I grew up in as a kid, I was falling about 10 feet. As a matter of fact, we used to regularly jump off the roof onto the trampoline or jump off the roof into the irrigation. All right, I'm as done as I'm gonna get for today. I've approached the point of no return where I can tell I'm too tired to be safe, at least as safe as I usually am. Only was able to get 2 strips down. I can already tell I need to get the right trowel The trowel that I have is just a trowel I happen to have up here. It's not the right trowel I should have for putting down that mastic. The rolled roofing process is not horribly difficult once you get things figured out a little bit, and there's definitely a process of me figuring some things out along the way. I've only lost one roll off the roof so far, and to me that's a success. So tomorrow morning I'm going to get up here and get this thing done and see how far I can get into it tomorrow. I'm fairly confident I can get all of the rolled roofing finished and maybe even start on the tin. We'll see. I may have to wait until Monday to completely finish the tin, but the back side of the roof has 4 roof vents that the inspector asked me to put in. With the insulation, the way I'm doing it, I'm filling the against the lid of the roof. I'm putting insulation. I'm putting the Roxol insulation, so I'm going to end up putting about probably 10 inches thick of Roxol. And they don't make a 10-inch bat, but what they do make is they make 8s and 4s or 6s and 4s. And so I'm probably going to stack a couple pieces of bat up against the lid. But what the inspector asked for is a 2-inch gap between the top of the insulation and the underside of the roof. And he also asked me to put 4 ridge vents along there, 4 gooseneck vents, whatever you want to call them. I'm putting in what's called a gooseneck vent. And so I'm doing this all on the backside so it's not visible from the road. I don't want any of this to be visible from the road. And so I've got to get those installed tomorrow. I also have to get the gooseneck vent installed for the 2 upstairs attic fans that I have. The downstairs exhaust fan I'm going to run out the side and put it on the end of the house where it's not going to be seen. But the 2 upstairs, the laundry and the bathroom, I am going to run through the roof. It was a good day. It's getting warm. I mean, warm is a relative term, but up here at 5,500 feet in elevation, you get sunburned pretty quick. We don't have pollution up here. Once I start throwing that tin down, I'm sure I'm going to pay the price for it as far as reflecting off of it. But I'm happy with the way things are going. Again, like I said, I need to get the trowel so I can put that mastic down properly. I think I will also put that mastic down on the top edge before I roll out the next edge. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but I'm going to use that tar like crazy. Every nail that's exposed, I'm probably going to hit it with that mastic. And then, like I said, it's not going to be seen because it's going to be hidden under that corrugated tin. But so far, so good. All of it's up there. I got all 13 rolls up on the roof, minus the one that fell off. So tomorrow we'll get up here and get this finished.